It's not your fault if you're poor, but it is if you stay poor. A lot of people out there complaining about their finances, but ain't willing to do anything about it. And guess what? The complaints haven't just started now. They've been complaining for the past 5 years, 10 years, 20 years.
Oh, we just don't have enough money to go by. The rich are scum. It's right for you. You ain't got my problems.
Yes, well, get over it. Do something about it. Are you one of those people that have been complaining? Or do you know someone who's consistently complaining about lack of money? It's down to you to get off your fucking ass and make things happen. Ain't no one going to come and do it for you. Right? The most successful people understand one thing, that you have to accept responsibility for your results. If life ain't going your way, what are you doing about it? Do something about it.
Oh, well, I can't. I don't have the money to get started.
The amount of times that I used to use that excuse back in the day, you know what? You need money to make money. You need money to make money. I was on one of my 5-day masterclasses last night, and somebody commented in there that you need money to make money. It's all right for you to say X, Y, and Z. Your coaching costs X, Y, and Z, right? I don't have the money. And my response was, hey, listen, you don't need money to make money. That's a myth. What you do first is make a decision. Now, do you want to do this, yes or no? The money will always show up. I've had situations where I didn't have the money to do something, but I had a real strong commitment, a real desire to actually do it. Going back when I first started with Bob, I was in £65,000 worth of debt, which at that time was around about $100,000 across about 5 or 6 cards. I remember having like 5 or 6 cards spread out right in front of me. There's a Barclay card, MBNA, and all the other ones that I had. I can't remember what they were, right? And they were all there in front of me. They're all stacked out. And I'm looking at them. I could have said, you know what, let me just quit. Let me just throw in the towel. But I knew that, hey, listen, my current results, the credit card debt, wasn't there to stay unless I decided it was there to stay. But I'm going to find a way on how to eliminate all of this debt. I could have gone bankrupt. I remember people saying to me, why don't you just go bankrupt? No, I ain't fucking no. I don't need to go bankrupt. I don't want to do that. I need credit, right? I want to get into property. I want to do this sort of stuff. So I can't afford to get bankrupt and not get any line of credit or anything for the next 6, 7 years, whatever that was. So I had the opportunity to work with Bob, to get the help that I needed, to get the guidance, the expertise that I did not have, the knowledge I did not have. Now, chances are, if you're in consistent like debt, the cash flow issues are constant. There's a reason why that's happening. And if you don't get the right help to eliminate that, guess what? It's going to carry on happening, because that's all you know is how to get into debt. You don't know how to get out of debt. You're great at having poor cash flow. Whilst other people are great at increasing cash flow, having excess cash flow. At that time, I wasn't good with cash flow. All I could do is attract more of the same. No cash flow, no money. But now it's the other way around. I've got plenty of cash in my bank because I learned the rules of how to get plenty of cash in the bank. There's 2 types of games, right? One is lack, the other one's like abundance. Take a good look at your results now. What are you good at doing? Are you good at making money, or are you good at making poor decisions? Because every decision that you make has an outcome. Bob says to me, listen, the only time I'd say to somebody to get into debt, if what they were going to do, that debt that was going to get them, they're going to get into, was going to pay for some kind of special expertise or guidance, mentorship to help them break that cycle and actually get them into the big game. Now, most people get into debt. They buy cars on finance. They'll buy like all sorts of rubbish on finance. When it comes to investing in themselves, they won't do that. They blame the economy. Stop blaming the economy. It's not the economy, it's your way of making decisions. Now, once you make a decision, things start to change. Decision isn't something that you make and you kind of change it when the going gets tough, like a lot of people do. The first month, you know, I'm like, well, this ain't working. I don't know if I can afford to do this or not. Maybe I shouldn't do it. Step back. But I took his advice. Now, Bob Proctor helps so many people out there. So many people worldwide, and even a lot of the mainstream mentors that you see out there, he mentored a lot of them. And I'm like, this guy knows something. So if this guy knows something, he's an expert and he's demonstrated that he knows what he's talking about. He's helped countless people. I'm going to stop making excuses, right? So stop making excuses and accept responsibility for your results. Let go of the excuses of why you can't do what you want to do. Where there's a will, there's a way. When you're willing to do something that hasn't been done for you, if you hold on to that will, you hold on to that image, and you go all in on that, you're going to find a way if you're committed. But you won't find a way if you don't go all in. Look at your finances. You got there. You're the only problem that you'll have, and you're the only solution that you have. I love that phrase. Everybody's blaming everybody else. It's the marketing, it's this, it's that. What about the myth of bad luck? You ever said that? You know what?
Our family's cursed for generations. We've always been this way. No one's ever had any money in our family. Going back generations, it's always been the same. My dad was the same. My granddad was the same. My great-grandparents were the same. It's just, our family's just cursed.
Yes, it runs in the family, but it will carry on running in the family unless you break this curse that's going on. I call it the money curse. Listen, I'm £65,000 worth in debt across multiple credit cards. I've got 2 young kids. I've got a business that I'm trying to run. Every bit of money that I got, I was paying into my cards, the minimum payment. And guess what was happening? The heartbreaking thing to me is that the interest rate was actually more than what I was paying. So guess what? Right, it started with 40,000 debt. I couldn't keep up with the interest. So every month, the interest went up and up and up. And every bit of money that I was paying in there, look how heartbreaking this would be. Every bit of money that you're getting, you're putting into your credit card. And guess what? You're not seeing it come down drastically. In fact, it's going the other way. So it doesn't make no sense, right? So I knew that I couldn't carry on this way. I could not produce any more income because I did not know how. I didn't have the expertise. I didn't have the right beliefs. So what I was doing is every single month, I am paying in money. Instead of the balance coming down, the balance was going up, because of the interest. And then it went to 45,000, 50,000. Before you knew it, or before I knew it, I was in 65,000 debt. I'm like, something has to change. Something has to change. Ended up in hospital, 48 hours to live. All this debt, something had to change. I knew that if I didn't make a change, ain't no one gonna come out off the street and say, hey, Mindy, let me give you a break. The universe was gonna say, you know what, Mindy's a good guy. He's got 2 young kids. Let me give the guy a break and his family a break. He deserves much more. Listen, a lot of people say, well, I deserve a lot more things. I deserve happiness. My family deserves happiness. We deserve financial freedom. We're good people. You don't deserve shit. You don't deserve nothing. How about that? What if you didn't deserve nothing? What does that even mean? We deserve this. Right, you've got a birthright. You have a birthright to have abundance in your life. But what does it mean that you deserve? I don't believe I deserve anything unless I put the work in for it. Unless I'm going down the right avenues to do the things. I didn't deserve it. That's not about, I'm not being horrible. I remember somebody saying to me, like, you know what, do you really deserve it? I'm like, no. It's like, do you really deserve success? I'm like, well, I don't know, no, because I'm not doing the right things around to attain that success. So now if we took that word out, that, you know, we deserve it, park that up to one side, right? That's an excuse. I deserve this. We deserve this. We earn it, right? We don't deserve it. We earn it. How about that? If you change that we deserve, we earn it through the right application of the effective use of our mind, our imagination. Most people use their imagination to sabotage everything. Now, we talk about sabotage. Sabotage, you don't sabotage things. It's your conditioning that sabotages everything that's coming to you because it starts to repel it. We talk about the law of attraction. You'll only attract in harmony with your beliefs about yourself. So get off your ass. Stop complaining. Stop being poor. Stop moaning. Nobody wants to know if you're poor. Nobody gives a f***. Some people out there get a kick out seeing other people fail.
No, I knew he would fail. Can't look at him now.
Success is the best or biggest revenge, right? Success is, who gives a f*** about revenge, right? You're not doing it for them. You're doing it for you. Why would you want to become successful to prove someone else wrong? Why would you want to become successful as a form of revenge? Because that's kind of really negative, right? Your success, only you and your family benefit from it. No one else is going to benefit from it unless you're donating or unless you're helping them. So stop focusing on other people. Do it for yourself. Do it for your family. Do it for your, some people say legacy. I don't know what a legacy is. Do I want a legacy? I don't really think about leaving a legacy behind. All I think about is like leaving impact behind. I'm not really into legacy, right? I think, does legacy come from ego? Maybe it does. I'm not interested in legacy. All I'm interested in, once I'm gone from it, once I'm dead, I'm dead. Doesn't matter, like, legacy don't mean f*** all to me, right? And soon, people will forget me. It's gonna happen, right? Maybe not immediately. Oh, there was that guy called Mindy, right? Oh, yeah. Now, the only reason people remember other people for is if you leave an impact. And that's what I want to do, leave an impact. So drop the ego. Go all in. Go all in. Do you want to stay poor? If you want to stay poor, you simply carry on doing more of what you're doing. If you're poor, that is. Right? There's so many people out there complaining every single day. Always something to blame. Take responsibility. No one wants to hear you complain. It's the most unattractive thing out there, right? Now, when someone complains to you, are they throwing a pity party? Or are they just not aware? Maybe they're not aware of how this stuff works and they just want to, maybe like, I remember when I used to complain, I'm not saying I didn't used to complain, I used to complain. You know, I thought I'm a good person. Let me just complain a bit so God hears me, the universe hears me and says, you know what? Let's just give that kid a break. We don't get a break unless we break something, right? We've got to break that cycle of our mindset. You've got to grow courage. And you've got to say, right, today I'm going to draw a line in the sand between me and complaining. Today, I accept responsibility for my income, my business, my lifestyle, my cash flow, my family. I'm the leader. It's down to me. Now, if you don't have the right tools, get the right tools. Listen, if I can go from 75 grand's worth of debt, remember the interest rate I was telling you about? My interest rate was stacking up every single month. I didn't go out and spend like 65,000 on stuff. It started off like, I don't know, 40,000 it started off at because I was working with a bad mentor over in London. He's telling me to do all of this crazy stuff. I was buying all sorts of advertising and putting money into all sorts of like stuff that he was just testing. He didn't know what he's doing, so he was just telling me you got to market. Just put. And I listened to what he said because I thought that this guy's a published author, all these fucking big books, office and stuff, pinstripe suit, grey beard, mention no names, but he didn't know nothing. And so what I did is I just listened to his advice, right? And I just did what he said. And then I went to him with zero debt, right? Then it started, right? Because I took the wrong advice and bang, 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 bang. Every month, right? It started to mount up. No, it'll be right. I'll just put this money in here. That will pay it down. Oh, that didn't work. Let's try another one. One thing he used to say to me is that you've got to do everything that you can to be successful. If you have to beg, borrow, or steal the lead off the church. Gonna go up, you want me to go up and steal some lead off the church? It's probably like an 1800 expression, right? Can you imagine me climbing up on church room trying to nick some lead and the police come, what are you doing? I've just got to pay some credit cards debt. Your debt's off, right? So I need some lead to pay that. It ain't gonna cut it well, right? So stop making excuses and get off your fucking ass and do something. Some people just need to be told. There's so many fucking snowflakes out there. They want to express their problems to the world like they want a handout, right? Take some responsibility and stop fucking moaning. Nobody wants to know. They don't care. The only person that cares is you, right? They don't want to listen to your problems, right? What do you want, a shoulder to cry on? You want some sympathy? You want a handout? No, fix up, make it happen. I believe in you because I believe in me. And you work the same way as I do, right? You just got to make a few adjustments if things are not going right. But the only way that's going to happen is if you really say to yourself, you know what, enough is enough, right? Enough is enough. Today, this is it. I fucking had enough. There's a day that comes. You remember that story about the straw that broke the camel's back? The camel had loads of straw on him, right? And it's just that one piece of straw that broke his back and all his legs collapsed out. And just went over. The camel dead. Don't be that camel, right? Let's take some of that straw off your back. Let's get courageous. Let's look at fear in the eye and say, you want, come on, bring it on. Game on. I'm ready for you. Every single day, you got to prepare your mind mentally. You got to look at the road ahead and say, you know what? I'm going to get there. And I'm going to get every single tool that I need to get there. I'm going to back myself. I'm going to believe in myself. No more making excuses. Today, I'll take responsibility. All those things I said to my family, all those things I told them that we're going to have, it's down to me, right? I used to tell my kids, you know, this is going to be the last Christmas we're here. And I think that got a bit boring, right? New Year's Eve and Christmas Day. Daddy used to always say that. You always say that. Guess what it does to my kids, right? Like, Daddy's a liar now, right? Because I've been telling them for like last 5 years, kids, this is the last time we're going to be in this house, in this business. Next year, we're gone. Imagine that. The kids, poor kids. You know what? Daddy's a liar. He don't mean what he says. What sort of an impression am I setting to my kids? That is right to be like that? Now I say to them, like, the kids, right, this is what we're going to do. And they kind of believe me now because they've seen what I'm doing. So it's your turn now. What are you going to do? Are you going to stop making excuses and go all out? Are you going to go all into it? Where there's a will, there's a way. Keep going. Never stop.